stands for no guts, no glory. And we're going to spend some time together for about the next 30, 45 minutes. And I wanted to go live and do a solo workshop today. There are so many conversations that I am having. Just today, I think I have 9 calls booked. Tomorrow, I have another 9 calls booked. It's been very busy on this side of the desk, which is the way that I like it. But I felt compelled to go live because I want to share with you what are these conversations that I'm having and how does that impact you? And so we're going to be talking about what is shifting right now in the world of websites, what's shifting drastically in the world of marketing online. How can we build connection? How do we build community? How are we getting more exposure, more conversion? And so I want to just give today. I hope that's okay. I am here inside of, my NGNG Facebook page. We're live inside of the Leverage to Scale community group. We're live on YouTube. We're live all over the place right now. I would really like to know who is here with me. So if you get a chance, I'm going to pull up, hang on one quick second. I'm going to pull up the room here and I would love for you to comment. Let me know who's here watching. Feel free to ask questions at any point throughout this presentation because I really want this to be conversational. I want to make sure that I'm giving you the highest and best support that I possibly can during this live stream workshop today for the Elevate series. And tomorrow I'm coming back and I'm going to be going live again with a gentleman named Arjun and Ken. And we're going to have a panel discussion about how to help you navigate this economic shift, both mentally and professionally. So I am so grateful for all things that the Elevate series is. It was a series that I started at the beginning of the COVID crisis, and we've now interviewed almost 50 different speakers, and all of the episodes are archived on Facebook and on YouTube, and we're repurposing them. It's actually something that I'm going to talk to you about today, is how to do something similar if you would like to, because the online world is changing so rapidly right now. This is not a time to pause. This is not a time to just sit and wait and see what happens. This is a time to rise up and to lead. And if you can have that service, that leadership, that giving heart, that giving nature, and you are also learning about what shifts are happening in the online world right now as it relates to website and marketing and conversion and sales, you are going to be at an extreme advantage to attract in even more of the right qualified buyers into your community, to inspire them, impact them, get them results and transformation, and then watch what's going to happen to your business as a result. So these are all the things that we're going to be talking about today. And I have a lot of questions that have already come in through our Leverage to Scale Facebook community. And so my team will be able to, actually, I can just do that really quick. I'll put a link below inside of the Facebook feed here to the Leverage to Scale Facebook group. If you're not a part of that group, please join. It's free to do so, but it is a closed group. So you're going to click to join and get access, and then we'll approve you, and then you'll be in the group. But the Leverage to Scale community is incredible. It's not a huge community by design, and it's much more intimate, supportive, helpful, great people in there. And oftentimes some of the members will put me in the hot seat live and will start asking me questions, and we'll give targeted advice on marketing and business development. So definitely feel free to join the Leverage to Scale Facebook group. Let me know if you're watching this in the comments below. I want to kind of step back and give you about a 50,000 foot view of what's happening in the online world if you have a business or a message to share. So let's say that you're sitting at home and you're homeschooling and you're a mom or a dad and you're pulling your hair out trying to figure out, how do I do all the things? You're managing finances, you're trying to manage self-care, you're trying to manage this new home environment. Maybe your home is a mess and you're thinking, how do I do it all? And I feel a lot of compassion for that. And maybe in that moment, you decide that you come up with some sort of a schedule for homeschooling. And now you feel compelled to, like, gosh, I wonder if other people would find this helpful. And, maybe this calling that you have around how to manage your household grows and grows, and you can't let go of the idea. And you think, gosh, maybe what I have, the value that I have, maybe other people would find value in that. And I wish I had more community. And so these are the conversations that are happening right now. People are contacting me on Instagram and Facebook and email and my websites all over the place. And they're saying, Amber, I have this calling. I want to give, I want to serve, but I'm not tech savvy. I don't know what I'm doing. And, you know, it doesn't seem like anybody's paying attention. Like maybe I dabble a little bit and I put out one Facebook post or one video, but nobody's really paying attention. What do I do here? Is it me? And honestly, I've had so many of these calls this week. And no, it's not you. It's just that the way that the internet works, let's just really strip it down for a minute. The internet works based on content. Think about it, right? Content is the backbone of the internet and has been for 20 years. When you make a little post on Facebook, that makes Facebook more valuable. When you decide to write a blog post, that makes Google more valuable. When you record a video, that makes Vimeo or YouTube more valuable. When you're doing a live streaming like this, I'm making Facebook and YouTube all kinds of value right now. Because think about it just for a moment. Think about it from their lens. Facebook is a company. They want you to spend as much time as humanly possible on their platform, because if the whole world is spending lots of time, 8 hours a day on their platform, that makes them one of the most valuable companies in the world, right? And they want to stay valuable and in business. So they're going to reward you the more you post, the more valuable the post is, the more frequently you post, the more consistently that you post. The more you can get people to comment on your feed, because that's keeping people engaged, right? And so Facebook's thinking, yeah, this is great. Look at all the value that Amber or Joe or whomever is bringing to me. I'm going to reward them by opening up our algorithm and giving them more exposure to see if that keeps even more people on their feed commenting and engaging. This is why live streaming is the most valuable use of your time right now. If you are considering an online business, or if you're an established business owner and you're thinking, how do I survive the economic crash and what's to come? How am I going to stabilize my team? How am I going to stabilize my clients? How am I going to pull this off? Telling you, it's live streaming. Because when I'm live streaming right now, I am making multiple companies valuable because of the views coming in. That means that I'm going to get rewarded with more viewership. So it's kind of a win-win. And the more frequently and consistently that you do it, the more rewarded you will be, right? And so you can't just put up one video, or you can't just put up a couple blog posts or send a few emails to your email list. Now's the time not to dabble and not to experiment and see what happens. Now is not the time to take your time. Now is the time to tap into whatever ferocious spirit is inside of you that knows you are here for a bigger purpose, that you can lead, that you should impact, that you should share your message with the world. Even if you take your own ideas and wisdom for granted, like most people do, share it anyway and watch what happens. The more you do it, the more frequently and consistently, the internet rewards you for making it more valuable, for keeping people in the internet. Okay. So that's kind of marketing at its most basic form, right? It's just, we just need to keep producing content. This is called content marketing. Doesn't matter if it's a video, live stream, podcast, etc. There is a hierarchy to it all, though. A live stream session is more valuable right now than a pre-recorded video that you put on YouTube. And that pre-recorded video that you put out on YouTube is more valuable than a podcast episode, perhaps. Of course, it depends on, how established that podcast or that video channel is. So just go with me. One of the reasons that live streaming is taking off so much right now is because it's real, right? How many of you are sick and tired of not knowing what's real in our world anymore, right? And so people are craving authenticity. They are craving leaders to show up that can just give and who are intelligent and have value, right? So that's what we need to tap into for you and let go of any other fear or any other worry or whatever is going on inside of this mind of yours. Tap into that place of service, giving value, giving education without expectation of what you're going to get in return. Because this isn't about you, not right now. If you just give and give and give and pour energy and enthusiasm and attention into the unknown, guaranteed it comes back to you in ways that you can't even begin to understand. So, if you were here last week when I did a solo live stream workshop, I told you the story of our Elevate series. I felt compelled to go live. In 11 business days, I interviewed 40 speakers. And I was not pitching some opt-in offer. Hey, come join my email list. Oh, you got to buy websites from me. Come on over. None of that. I even remember halfway through, I got laryngitis. And so I had to have other hosts come in with me. I couldn't even say a word. I'm like holding up these Post-it notes to sort of comment. And it was so real. And it was just giving. And we were helping so many people that in 11 business days, our reach grew by 4,200%. 4,200% was the increase in reach in 11 business days because we were focused on service, giving, consistent, frequent, valuable, educational content. And so that's really the power of, hey, Ryan, it's so good to see you here. And Ellen is back. Good to have you again as well. But guys, that's the power of using your voice. Forget the script, get out of your head, get out of fear, and show up in service to your community and build something meaningful right now. And you're going to do that through the use of your voice, right? The use of your voice and this thing here, your heart. Tap into that. Content is the backbone of the internet. Live streaming will get you further, faster, cheaper than any other option on the entire internet right now. So that's why I'm going to be talking about it quite a bit right now. But what happened was out of the Elevate series, our community grew so quickly and it was so engaged and so loyal that now we have our amazing Elevate ambassadors going out, starting their own live streaming as the Elevate series. We have Zipporah and Damon, and Ryan Snow just came in 2 days ago and he already has over 10 interviews booked. So he is the host of his own Elevate series. We're doing it in collaboration together because we can do more together than we can alone. And I'm going to put a link if anybody else is interested in becoming an ambassador. There's no cost whatsoever. I'm just going to put that here in the chat for all of you that are watching live. And you can absolutely become an Elevate ambassador, start your own series. The value of that is that you're not going to have to figure out the tech and what am I going to say and how do I do the branding and what should I say on social media. I've already done all of that for you. I put it into a page. I'll show you what it looks like briefly and then we'll move on. Just go here. I teach you how to book your own live stream sessions, what to say on social media, how to do the technical piece of live streaming, what to say, and how to promote it. So just go to that link. I put it in the chat comment below. Just use that. Start your own series starting Monday. There's not time to waste. Again, this is not a time to pause. Just how you see real estate investors buying up as much of the real estate out there in the world as possible, that's now happening inside the internet too. So these Bigger corporations are pumping out content 24/7, videos, blogging, social media. They're everywhere. And you think that they're not going to start adopting live streaming too? And what will happen to the little guys as they start buying up all of the online real estate? This is your time to step out of your comfort zone and to rise up and to lead. There are ways to do it that are a little bit more systematic so that you don't feel like you're drowning in things to do, because nobody needs that right now. Ryan, thank you for that nice comment. Susan, it's great to have you here as well. But there is a systematic approach. There are ways to make this efficient. One of the things that I do that makes all of this possible, because if you've been following me for any period of time, you probably have seen that my content is everywhere. How is that possible? I have a blog on my ngngeenterprises.com site. I have a blog on my Leverage to Scale website. I have a blog on my Amber Vilhauer website. I have hundreds of YouTube videos. I have hundreds and hundreds of blog posts out there. We are going live every single week. I am constantly being interviewed on podcasts, or I'm doing private trainings. Like I go into a mastermind community and I'm telling them about how to optimize live streaming or content marketing or website, development, how to get better conversions there. Where's the online world shifting to? People just have me come in and speak. And my content's all over the place, all major social media channels. How is that possible? Because you know what? I'm out doing a lot of the speaking, but I'm not writing that blog post. I'm not doing some of the social media content. I have turned it into a systematic approach. What I did is I focus on building relationships. I focus on speaking, doing the things like this that only I can do. And I focus on selling for people that come in and are curious about our services. And I'm so low pressure and easy, but still that's a part of business, right? Those are the three main things that I focus on. All of the other things, what happens, like, especially as it relates to content marketing and social media, how can you get somebody else super qualified to do that for you in your voice, really like in a fraction of the amount of time that you're currently spending on it? Because the reality is, for all of you watching right now, it's not a good use of your time for you to get stuck in the technical how-to and overthinking and backspacing and delaying and, all of those things. Terrible use of your time. You need to be in service as much of 100% of the time as possible, right? That is what's possible. What I did is I started to look at all of the things that I wanted done. I will go out and I'll do a live stream like this. Guess what's going to happen after this live stream is over? I have an amazing support person on my team who's going to update the description of this Facebook replay, this post, as soon as it's over. I'm not going to do that. She's going to do that because I taught her how I want it done. So she's going to come in, she updates the description so that new people coming in can then see what the replay was about. Then this video is currently streaming live on YouTube, as I mentioned. She is going to go in and update the YouTube description. She's going to add artwork, tags, a keyword researched title, description. She's going to add end screens and YouTube cards. And she's going to do all of these like optimization techniques that I've taught her. Very few people know how to optimize and repurpose content. And there are a lot of big name marketers out there that might be talking about repurposing, but you know what? They're not optimizing their content to the level that it could. That's for dang sure, because very few people on the planet actually spend the time to look at what are the little details that actually increase your exposure. Well, I geek out on that stuff. I can't tell you I understand why that's a part of my personality, but I geek out on that stuff. So over the past, 15 years, I study. I've been studying live streaming since August of last year, deeply studying it, testing it, researching, optimizing, tweaking, refining, retesting, doing it again. This is what I do. And once I figure out how to do something at the highest possible level of optimization in the least amount of time possible, so it's like hyper efficient without sacrificing quality, that's when I turn it into a step-by-step checklist and give it to a team member and say, go own your role. Go own it. You go, girl, or whatever. You go, guy. And so Alexis, after this, she updates the Facebook description. She's going to optimize that video in YouTube. Then she's going to extract out key takeaways, and she's going to turn that into a blog post that's going to sit on my ambervilhauer.com blog. Every single replay from every single live stream, podcast, anything like that that I've done, that's what goes on the Amber Vilhauer blog. I don't write that stuff. She writes that stuff. But how on earth can she do it so where it looks like I was the one that did it? Well, it's called good training, number one. And number two, you'll love this, because Alexis was watching the video, she's just saying it, she's repurposing it using my tonality, my expressiveness, the way that I say things, my phrasing. She just carries that over right into the blog post. So it sounds like I wrote it. I just gave her the framework for it based on the research and optimization that I had done previously. I taught her search engine optimization. So now she can go out and make sure that it's getting ranked in Google. Then we look at social media. Here's exactly how I want my social media done. I want stories. I want, showcases of our work and testimonials. I want you to do outreach. I want you to pick out community members and feature them and highlight them so they feel special, because they are special to me. Everything is rooted in developing personal connection with people. So all of these things just simply go into training. But here's what: you as the business owner, you don't want to spend time documenting and systematizing all of that. Come on. I already know who you are because I talk to people like you all day long, right? How do we get our own Alexis and how much does it cost, says Ellen. Well, Ellen, the average virtual assistant out there is going to cost about $20 an hour for a really good one. And then it just becomes a matter of training. Now, for the training piece in particular, and I'm about to share my screen so I can show you, I literally took this process that I've just described to you and I turned it into a training program where I can train your virtual assistant how to do all of this so that you don't have to train them, manage them, make sure it gets done. I do that. So this isn't a big pitch, but Ellen, you asked, go to leveragetoscale.com. You can watch this video that talks all about it. I train your team to do your video optimization, your social media, blogging, email marketing so that it's done for you. And yeah, you just go watch a private demo. It's 6 minutes on double speed, takes no time at all. Basically, that demo is going to show you this at a glance. It's just the back end of the membership area. Like this is the YouTube module where I train your virtual assistant how to optimize on YouTube. She gets to watch a 7-minute video that says this is the grand scope of everything that we're doing. And then there's a checklist. It says, okay, you got to watch the video. You got to do some SEO, edit your video, upload your video, right? We make no assumptions as to the level of training that somebody has had going into this. So we give them step-by-step instructions with a screenshot and video. So it's very clear how to do every single thing as if I were doing it personally for you, Ellen. I even teach them how to design artwork, right? Because you don't want to be stuck doing that either. I don't. I want to be out there speaking. I don't want to be designing artwork. So I put it into a document. This is the sizing that I want, the files that I want. This is the optimization, how to organize it, where to upload it. Where do I go to do design work? Give me some examples that I can model, right? So that's what Leverage to Scale is. It just teaches them everything that they need to know to do your optimization, blogging, social, email marketing for you. And like I said, you can check out leveragetoscale.com and learn more about it. If you don't have a virtual assistant, Ellen, then we can probably help connect you with one. So basically, we have like a pool of hundreds of VAs that came in through the system through business owners like yourself. I trained them, mentored them, guide them, love on them, recognize them. They're doing great work in the world. And so some of them over time have just said, gosh, you know what? I love leverage to scale. We just had one this morning, this girl, Kimberly, and then we'll move on, but just celebrate with me for a minute, would you? Um, so this morning, Kimberly Bryant said, the training was great, by the way, super helpful, and we are very excited to start implementing. Um, I've had no complaints from virtual assistants. We're getting ready to celebrate our 2-year anniversary of Leverage to Scale. It's a one-time fee. There's no long-term commitments and subscriptions. It's a one-time fee. You get forever access to me. I update the training every single month because the online world's always changing. So I need to make sure that your virtual assistant is caught up to speed when there's a change in an algorithm. And so we support them through weekly live streaming and all the stuff. So you can go there if you want to know, Ellen, but honestly, like that's how my brain thinks in structure, systems, to-do lists, right? I'm hyper organized. Most business owners, they think in vision and creative and ideation, right? So what I'm doing is I can do both. I can think and vision, and I know, thank you for celebrating, Ellen. I know the step-by-step execution pieces because I'm a done for you service provider. We're building websites for people. We're doing marketing and book launches and live streaming campaigns for people. So all day long, I'm in the execution. I know a lot about how service providers work and how they need to be told what to do so that they can own their role and move forward with confidence in that role. And so I can kind of bridge that gap. I go into companies sometimes God, I do this often actually. I'll go into a company and I'll see that they're doing something in a really clunky way that makes no sense and it's not efficient. The team members confused, the business owners frustrated because things aren't getting done. And I come in and I simply create a checklist or a document saying this is exactly how we need to get it done. The team member is like, oh, thank God, I know what to do. Now I can do that all day long. Business owner says, oh, look, they're doing their job now, just exactly how I wanted. And I'm thinking, yeah, you just need to like spend the time to tell your people exactly how you want it done. Most business owners just don't have that capacity. It's maybe not a gift, or it's draining and exhausting and hard, or they second guess themselves. But that's where I come in. So leverage to scale is an example of that. Our new live streaming division is an example of that as well. And so I can put a little comment to, actually, did I already do that? Leverage to scale.com, put that in there. Standout.live is really cool. You go there, check out a little video that I put up a couple days ago about live streaming. But anyway, what we're doing in this new live stream division is organizations are hiring us to set up an entire live stream campaign, brand, structure. We have 2 clients that are going live today, actually, even. And so we do all of the speaker management and reminders and thank yous. We're doing all of the social media branding and the graphics and the content. And so literally all the client has to do is show up and speak and then go on to their business and do their other things. But we are running their live stream campaign. And, you know, these speakers have, these clients have upwards of 40 speakers getting booked right now, and they just kicked off their series. So it's like a huge lift. And by the way, both of those started less than a week ago. So we moved very, very quickly. And there's no way that we would be able to do that if we weren't systematic, if we weren't structured and detailed and organized. And basically what we do in standout.live is we set up the entire structure and then train their team how to take over once everything is up and running. So again, you'll see a pattern here. I'm all about giving you control, setting you up for long-term success. I'll go in and implant a marketing operation and get it all up and running and detailed and documented and train your team how to do it. And then we'll move on to something else, right? So couple of takeaways from our conversation so far. Number one, you might want to take a look at what you are currently doing every day that's a terrible use of your time, that's actually preventing you from having the time to be the leader that you know you need to be right now. We both know it. The other thing is finding a team member who's capable, that has good training, that can lighten your load for you on things like, social media, supporting you with live streaming and that sort of thing. Because, you're just one person. You can't do it all. You shouldn't do it all. And part of what I've had to learn as a business owner is just how to trust others, just how to be okay with letting somebody else take the reins. And it's a beautiful thing when you do that. Other things that we've talked about so far is content marketing. You've got to push out content consistently, frequently. Viral live streaming is the number way to do it. Then you're repurposing that to optimize on YouTube. You're making blog posts, you're doing social media. And when you are on all major online channels, what do you think somebody's perception is coming in of who you are and the value that you're giving or the status that you have in the world? They're going to come. Thank you, Eric. Eric Graham, you guys. Let's give him a round of applause. Happy to have you here, Eric. But you have to be rooted in service right now. You have to give without thought of where this is going to, how it's going to work out. It just naturally does when you impact as many people as possible. I have to bring up Bob Berg. Freaking love that man, Bob Berg from The Go-Giver. You've got to go read that book if you haven't already. If you want to have more, fill in the blank, whatever that is, you want to have more love in your life, you want to have more money in the bank, you want to have more status, you want to have more respect, then you need to just simply impact more people. You need to get your voice out in front of as many people as possible, and live streaming, content marketing, that's the way to do it. But now I'm going to switch gears and tell you something else. Once you're out there in the world, thank you, Eric. Once you're out there in the world, actually, before I say this, can you all do me a favor? Can you do me a favor in exchange for this value I'm sharing with you right now? Can you do me a favor? In the bottom right-hand corner of this screen, you should see a button that says Start Watch Party. Would you just do me a favor and start a watch party and make my day? Or if it's a share button, share this video. Just tell your community that this is happening right now. Because imagine if there was even one other friend in your friends list that needed this message today to get off of the couch and into action and into service, and the impact that person could have in whatever industry that they speak to. And that impact got to happen because you clicked a button to start a watch party. That would feel pretty good, huh? And it would definitely feel good to me for giving to you in this way. So thank you for starting a watch party. Thank you for sharing this because it's important. And I'm going straight into value. There's no fluff here. Okay, so let's talk about, thank you, Eric. Let's talk about your website for a second. We spoke about how there's a lot of competition in the online world. Your focus is on getting market share, on getting your corner, getting that online real estate, building up community, building up an audience. You're doing that through service, live streaming, content marketing. But then what? Those people are going to go back to your website. And I want to tell you about where websites are headed toward, because we are in the middle of a big shift right now in terms of websites. And I've been around, Eric saw me from the beginning 15 years ago, and I've been around through all the different trends and stages of website development. We've built almost 1,000 websites for authors, speakers, and coaches right now. So that's why you want to tune into this part, because I know what I'm talking about when it comes to websites. Websites, their purpose, it's changing. And so this is going to give you an early advantage here to know this information, because a lot of designers don't really understand what's happening. And we're just a lot of people are testing and trying to figure it out. But similar to why live streaming is so freaking powerful right now, it's because it's real and people love to feel connected. That's the word I want you to remember, connected, right? And when we feel connected, right? When I'm here having this moment with you and it feels good and it feels safe and it feels like anything is possible. How can we get that to happen, but on a website when you're not even there? Websites, the shift that's happening, the trend that we are moving into is that your website needs to be experiential. That's the word, experiential. So that when somebody lands on your website, how can they experience you before they even read your headline? How is that possible? I'm going to give you a quick visual here. Hi, Antonio. I'm going to give you a quick visual here so you know what I'm talking about. We land on the ambervilhauer.com website. You see me. It's not perfectly polished, right? I'm dancing, I'm teaching on a stage, I'm holding up my iPhone, I'm doing a social media video. It's moving around. Here I'm on a panel on another stage in Vancouver. I'm switching around to a different stage, room of 300 people. Look how engaged they are. I'm in the crowd, I'm talking. Do you feel that energy? It's shifting around a lot. I'm real time looking at social media right there. That gives you an experience of Amber, and it's absolutely 100% aligned with who I am, right? So you're even experiencing me right now in a live stream, right? That's what's so powerful about live streaming. I'm high energy. I'm like a fire hose at you, right? I'm smiling. I'm transferring my enthusiasm into you, right? And you'll feel that, right? If you're paying attention. And so your website needs to do something similar. And one of the ways that I help my authors, speakers, and coaches on their website is I'll put up that video background. I'm going to give you some contrast here for a moment. I'm going to show you another website that we launched recently for this woman named Indrani. Okay, so we're just pulling that up. Now look at Indrani's website, very different. She's on this massive stage. See her tempo much slowed down. The background, she's much more calm, authoritative. She's careful. You see her this is an intimate moment where she's preparing for an interview, right? And you get a sense she's kind of serious, right? She's not as energetic as I am. But look, she's humble. See how she's walking out on the stage. Look how she's dressed. Look at her hand motions. Very different, right? You can experience Indrani before you even have a clue what she does. And by the way, she is an advocate for domestic abuse, stopping domestic abuse. That's who Indrani is. Very powerful global leader in that. If I can work with somebody and get a sense of who they are, because every single client I've ever had is completely different from the next. I get to know your essence and who you are and what makes you light up, what makes you smile, when that giving nature comes out in you, when that vulnerable moment comes out in you. And it all is the summation of who you are. And if I can take that and turn it into a video background so that when somebody lands on your website, you've been out in the world speaking and live streaming, they come back and they get to feel that here before anything else, that's where websites are headed. I've proven it time and time again. The conversions are shifting. This is what people want. They want real. They are tired of getting sold to, disappointed. You know, people, they invest so much money in people and they disappear or disappoint. Very few companies are really showing up and over delivering and are far, above mediocrity. And if you are one of those, and I believe you are, otherwise you wouldn't be here, I attract a certain caliber of individual in, then it's time for you to take a look at your website and think, gosh, does this even accurately represent who I am or how much I care about others or the type of leader that I am? But it doesn't. And it's not your fault. You didn't know, right? But now it's time to go back and do the work. We're not pausing here. That is not what we do in a time like this. Now it's time to hit the gas harder than ever before. Get rid of the things on your plate that are a terrible use of your time. Get you healthy again in your mind, in your heart, in your body. Get you focused, get you in action, give you a plan so you know exactly what to do every day. You're not wafting, you're not wondering, you're not delaying. You show up with intention, you show up with a giving and serving heart. Your website reflects who you are and that giving nature. And what happens is a few things. So get ready for this. Number one, what you will experience is the biggest and best freedom, a freedom that honestly you can't even believe is possible. That's the first thing that happens when you decide to just drop the act of like, oh, I'm perfect and I'm great and I have no problems and I have no insecurities or fear. Once you drop that and you just say, this is who I am, like it or not, what happens is people respond to that because they feel something different is happening with you. And it's that difference that they're curious about, that they want more of. They like that energy and that freedom. I want that freedom. Something about them. I've got to know more. I've got to buy their stuff or opt into their list, or I've just got to pay attention to their lives or whatever they're doing. It's magnetic and it's natural. And you're going to just feel this freedom to be yourself, knowing that if people come in and they don't like me, they think, oh, she's too smiley and energetic, gosh, then they'll leave and I won't even know that they came in or not. But the right people, right? The people that are in this chat stream right now that are appreciating this, I see all of your hearts everywhere. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so meaningful to me. Thank you for being here. Man, they feel that they want more of that. And they want to tell their friends about that too. So you don't have to worry about like how perfect your opt-in is. And I'm not worried about right now pitching you or anything like that. If you like this value and you think, wow, Amber made some good points today. I do need to start live streaming. I do need to start delegating my content marketing. Gosh, I really do need to look at that website. Okay, then you'll go find me, right? I'm all over the place. You'll go to my website, you'll get my pricing menu, we'll have a call. If it's a fit, you'll move forward. It's magic. It just happens naturally. You don't have to worry or sit in lack or scarcity anymore. You're just giving and it comes back to you. But we do need to make sure that you're consistent and frequent in that marketing. We do need to make sure that that website is experiential, that people get a sense of who you are. We definitely need to get you doing more video, period, whether it's live or pre-recorded or you're speaking on a podcast. You will naturally start to improve your speaking ability the more speaking that you do. But that's something that everybody should be focused on is how do I become a better speaker? How can I stay on track? How can I get to the point faster? How can I reinforce the points that are really important? Speaking is going to serve you really well. And I was just on the phone with somebody on a coaching call just before we went live. And she has a like a Zoom speaking engagement next week to a small group of women professionals, maybe 10, 15 people will be in the room. Now, previously, she would have done a PowerPoint. She was thinking through her opt-in offer and how she was going to, structure it, how she was going to get the most out of it. And I said, you know what? What if you scrap the PowerPoint for a minute? What if you just focus on connecting with each individual in the room? What if you could just be totally present and in tune to their needs? What if you could look through that camera lens as if there was only one person, not 10, and you just wanted to connect with that person and give them everything that you've got? What if instead of thinking about what I look like, we could just be focused on transferring all of our energy and enthusiasm? Like imagine it like you've got light beams coming out of your hands and you're just transferring that into the camera. This is a tip, whether you're speaking, whether you're on YouTube or a podcast, it's all related. I'm doing it right now on this live stream. Transferring that energy and that enthusiasm is a really important part of speaking virtually. It will get you far better results, more viral ability, more word of mouth happening because people will be impacted. They'll feel it, right? So something that you might want to start to look at is how can you start to grow your own energy? And maybe it's by drinking a Red Bull and that do you, right? For me, it's making sure I'm rested, I'm eating well, I get outside every day, I laugh and giggle with my little 3-year-old boy, I'm listening to music, I'm taking care of Amber. That's the first step. The second step is remembering my why. Why am I here? Why am I even choosing to spend, an hour on this live stream right now? It's not for me, it's for you. If I can even help a couple of you, you go out, you start your own live stream, viral campaigns, you impact 100,000 people. I had a part of that. Are you kidding me? That feels amazing, right? So remembering your why is a part of transferring that energy and enthusiasm out. This isn't about you. It's about the person that's in front of you, giving them everything you've got. And that's another form of freedom because you get out of your own head and your own worry for a moment. It always feels good to be in service. So if you can try to do that through your webcam, if you can master that, if you can figure out how to get your energy levels up and out into the world, OMG, you will rise so fast to the top of your industry. People will want to start collaborating with you. They'll see something different in you that they don't have because they might not know how to get that energy out, but you do because you're working on it, right? It's just like a muscle. You just have to exercise that a little bit. And then that energy starts to come out into the way that you're writing an email. If you're off one day, maybe not the best time to write an email. I create content when I am my highest self. When I'm low, everybody else is going to feel off around me, right? But when I'm high, I can raise everybody else to feel high with me. And so when you start to look at it that way, the emails you send out, even to your clients, a lot of people are so focused on how do I get the next lead to come in? What about all the people that have already trusted you, either active or inactive? Go back to those people and say, gosh, you know what, Beth? I miss you. It's been years since we connected. What's new in your life? How can I serve you? Tell me what's going on. What's going on? Revive that relationship and give to them. It will be so much easier for you to have that new lead you needed because the know, like, and trust factor has already been built there. But it's still just a transfer of enthusiasm to those clients through your website, through your live streaming, which means you really got to take care of you as number one so that you can give on this kind of a level. And then Bob Berg, the go-giver, will say you also need to learn how to receive and return. And I'll let you read his book to learn a little bit more about that. I'm going to spend the last few minutes here answering a couple of questions. So if you have questions, please put them in the comment below. I'm seeing some in here. Yeah, Susan is amazing. She's been running her own Elevate Ambassador series, total leader, total doer. And what I really respect about Susan is that she's willing to share what's hard for her. She's willing to share the struggles. And, Susan is not like, oh, I'm perfect. I only show you my perfect side. She shares openly because that's how she is helping to elevate other leaders within her community, does it beautifully. So really happy to have Susan on the Elevate series. Got a slew of questions here. What is the best way to promote a new YouTube channel? We are just starting and hoping to get traction. Honestly, it's just like anything else, whether you're promoting a new opt-in offer, my website just launched, I got this YouTube channel, I just was interviewed on a podcast. It's just a matter of promotion. And this is also the value in having somebody else do it for you. So John Ramstead is the person asking this question. He invested in Leverage to Scale, and I was able to train his virtual assistant how to do everything for him. So an example is that when I do a podcast interview on somebody's podcast, when it airs, I say, hey, Vicki, this podcast just went live. Thanks. Appreciate you, girl. And she will take that and extract out key teaching points. She'll craft a blog post. She'll repurpose it through social media, send it out to our email community. When it's a video-based post, she puts it on YouTube and optimizes it. I mean, we have a whole protocol based on Leverage to Scale. And so John, it's just a matter of using Leverage to Scale to tell people about your new YouTube channel, right? And so you could be making social media posts about it, but really It's going to be in you creating consistent, frequent video content that then enables your virtual assistant to spread that through social media and blogging and email marketing. And as people are watching your video on all of my YouTube videos, and I'm going to drop this link too, because I have 100 of these fast track videos on YouTube. You might not even know this. So you'll see them all. I've got 100 of them. They're really good videos. And in every single one, I'll share this link with you in the chat. In every single video, I end by saying, did you like that tip? Well, there's more where that came from. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified when future videos like this become available. And also go to my website at ambervilhauer.com. You can sign up for our pricing menu and learn all about what we do. And until the next one, just remember, no guts, no glory. I don't know, it's something like that. You can watch some of the videos. But John, as you're producing more and more and more videos, and then you're inviting people, you're telling them to subscribe, they will. And over time, you're just going to start to build up more viewers, more subscribers. As you publish blog posts, they're going to be, checking out your YouTube channel. Through social media, same thing. So part of it is sort of like imagining that your content is the bait to get people back to whatever channel you want them to be on, whether it's your website or Facebook or YouTube, etc. If you have a question, just go ahead and put it in the comments below for me. If you're just joining, please start a watch party and share this video so we can help more people. Would love to see a couple more watch parties started. Next question is, what is the most important way to open a live stream so that the first 2 minutes create engagement and have people want to stay for the content? Great question. And a couple things on this one, because I'm even seeing right now, people are coming and going constantly throughout this live stream. Very few people just sit for the whole hour or however long that you're going live, and just perfectly content to sit there the whole time. I run a live stream fully understanding that people are going to come and go. They're going to watch the replay. And somebody asked me yesterday, well, how long should I go live? Because people don't have a very big attention span. And I give this answer a lot. I go live for as long as I want to go live. And if somebody doesn't want to stay, then they'll leave and they might come back or start a watch party or check it out on YouTube or whatever. But I'm not going to quit. I'm going to give. And that's what I'm focused on. But in the very beginning, what happens is usually, like, you can see this on tomorrow's Elevate live stream. I have a panel of 2 guests coming in. We're having a discussion. We're going to be promoting on the NGNG page, so you'll see the dates and times. But you'll see that I'll open and say, guys, we're live. I'm here with Arjun. I'm here with Ken. Guys, I want to dig right into value. What is going on right now in your communities? What is a piece of advice that you have to help people get through this time mentally or professionally? Once you answer that question, we'll introduce you more formally, but I want to drop value right out of the gate. So what's a high piece of advice or value that you can give to our viewers listening right out of the gates? And that's how I start. Then once they answer, I'll say, great. Now, guys, I asked people to start a watch party. That's really important. We got to get more people sharing our stuff so that the good guys win. The good news outweighs the bad news that's being circulated everywhere. You got to share the good stuff. And so I ask people to share my content. Then I go and do a deeper introduction of who Arjun and Ken are. And then I introduce myself. And then I ask the next question, the next question, the next question, to keep going. I try to make sure that I'm hitting value points. I'll have somebody in my team engaging in the comments so that we grow that engagement and leadership and exposure on Facebook and YouTube, etc. So that's how I would open it right out of the gates with value. Another question here, what is the best way to repurpose video content into an email that goes out to your list? i.e., do you send out the video with a short description, transcribe it, and turn it into a blog post, or a combination? What works best? We have a large list and want to warm it up and create more engagement. What I would recommend is number one, survey your audience every single time. I always survey my audience and I try to find out what they want from me, because it's not about what I think they want or what I want or what works for me. It's like, what do you want? What works best for you? And then I'll do that. That's really being in service to your people. So one of your survey questions could be, I want to make sure that my email content is really on point for you. So which would you prefer in the options below? A short text email with a link to a blog post or video that can give you some education, a medium-sized email that might have a digest of everything that's happening across the organization, like latest videos, latest live streams, upcoming events, podcast, new website page, new testimonial or something? Or would you prefer a longer digest that goes out every other week? Maybe you kind of create a few options and then survey your audience and see what they would prefer. You can sign up for my email list at ambervilhauer.com. Even if you do it for a week or two and then unsubscribe, see how I do it. Because I'm mixing in, I probably do like a medium-sized email. I have my video, but we're also baking in other things that are happening throughout the organization, because I have 5 divisions within my company. And, we're launching websites, and new leverage to scale members are onboarding every week. And we're doing the live streaming. I'm doing my own speaking and writing the book and all the things, right? And book launches. We have Mike McAllowitz book launch next Tuesday, April 28th. So shout out to Mike. Gosh, I'm excited for that launch. We've been working on Mike's book launch for 14 months, you guys. Anyway, so sign up for my list. If it helps you can see what we're doing, model it, and see how your audience responds. Next question. I would love to hear you talk about the videos you have published and what has the most or least views and what you have learned from that. That's a big question. I would say, honestly, it's pretty equal between people really love tactical, tangible action step type videos. So for example, the week before last, one of my latest YouTube videos was about how to reimburse the cost of a book launch during the process of like moving toward the launch. One of our clients last year was a year-round engagement, and we were able to create several monetization opportunities for this person before their launch even happened. We had 5 different micro launches that grew into about north of $400,000 in gross sales before the book launch even happened. So the way that I approach every client is, number one, I take it personally. This is not just business for me. This is deeply personal. I treat your business as if it's my own. And I also want to make sure that you are reimbursing the investment of working with me and my team as fast as possible, because that's only going to make you happier, right? And spread that word of mouth. We have a huge word of mouth ratio. I think it's north of 60, 70%. We are constantly getting referred, which just feels amazing. That's such a feel good. But all of that to say, yeah, honestly, John, I'm thinking that it's definitely a mix between tactical, like here's exactly how to do this one thing, like how to reimburse the cost of a launch. And the other side of it is story-based. This is a client that went through this other thing, and this was the advice that I gave her. It's very strategic and creative and innovative. So both of those have done pretty equally well for me. And so you'll just have to test what is best for your audience, honestly. Next, you have, throat is so dry. Let's see. For lead magnets, we created a quiz that we are incorporating. We just put it at the top of our website. I would love to hear your thoughts on how to best use a quiz as a lead magnet and how to promote it. I'm going to tell you to check out Ryan Levesque, the Ask Method. I'm guessing that might be where you heard about the idea of the quiz to begin with, but he and his community are going to have much more recent data that is going to help you more in that department than I would be able to. So if it were me and my quiz, there would be a lot of surveying, looking at the metrics, optimization, and I would just be promoting it in anything and everything that I'm doing. But I've never gone deep with quizzes, so I don't want to, give bad advice there. But I do think that there are people like Ryan in the world that I would have you go check out. And they'd be able to give you some really targeted advice on that one. And I think that is my last. Oh, hey, Ronald. It's so good to see you guys. I really appreciate when you make an effort to put something in the chat box because it lets me know that you're here. And last thing, and we're going to wrap up because I've got a call here in a couple minutes, but I want to leave you with this bit of wisdom. I want you to go forward and treat people the way that you would want to be treated. I want you to go forward and treat people the way you would want to be treated. So if this were you live right now, what would you be hoping for? You'd be hoping that people comment in the comment box and they're sharing your live stream. They're telling their friends, they're tagging their friends saying, you got to watch this. It's amazing. So then treat other people the way you would want to be treated. Or like, I've had people on my email list in the past say, oh, Amber, I'm not really one to comment, but I have just appreciated you so, so much over the years. And thank you so much for your email list. I want to tell you that every week. But I don't know. I just don't. And I think to myself, well, treat other people the way you would want to be treated. It's not for me. It's not an ego thing, but we need to support each other. That's really my point here. So tell me when you're going live and I'll show up and I'll send you a chat. I'll send you a hello there in your chat box. Happy to do that. Are you kidding me? It takes me no effort whatsoever. But then together we can be this community that supports each other, that elevates each other to help more people, right? So if that's you, if you've been a part of somebody's email list and you've been appreciating them but haven't said anything, appreciate them today. Send somebody a text message, send them a little video message, say hello, tell somebody that you appreciate them today. Tell people what they're doing right today. Oftentimes when we feel like we are losing control in our lives, we get hypercritical and we start noticing everything that's going wrong. But what if you could start focusing on everything that's going right and just live there? And that's what I want to leave you with today. I would love to know your feedback, what you thought was helpful in this last hour or whatever piece of it we got to spend together. Let me know what you thought was valuable. And if you would like to have more of these workshop solo with Amber, I'm thinking about doing one a week to start. And if the need is there, if the desire is there, then I'll do more of them. I'm here for you. So you tell me what you want from me the most, and we'll go forward with that. I want to thank you for your time and your energy and attention. I want to thank you for sharing this video on your Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn feed. It matters. That effort matters. And until the next time, remember, no guts, no glory. I'll see you guys tomorrow back at the NGNG page for our next Elevate panel. I'll see you.